The Pittsburgh Steelers just traded away my favorite player today, man. I was so happy when I saw the news that the Steelers signed linebacker Patrick Queen in free agency. I was jumping up and down with tears of joy rolling down my eyes. Just for me, a few hours later to be having tears of sadness rolling down my eyes because we're trading away wide receiver Diontae Johnson to the Carolina Panthers. Oh my God, this hurts. This hurts my soul, man. And listen, I get that the Steelers are a really good team when it comes to drafting and evaluating wide receivers. But let's not make it seem like losing Diontae Johnson is just some loss that the Steelers can easily scoff over. Yeah, he had butterfingers, but he's one of the best route runners and best peer separators in the National Football League. And for the Carolina Panthers, this trade is a huge steal for you. Now, you're giving the Steelers a 6th-round pick and cornerback Donte Jackson. Now, Donte Jackson is a average, maybe slightly above average cornerback, in my opinion. Could he be a potential Pro Bowl caliber cornerback in Pittsburgh? Maybe, because Mike Tomlin does specialize on the defensive end of the football, and he does have a background specializing in defensive back play. So Donte Jackson should look like a stud with Mike Tomlin. But for the Carolina Panthers, you're getting not just Diontae Johnson, but a 7th-round pick as well. And when you think about what Diontae Johnson brings to Carolina's offense, he's going to be a perfect fit for what Dave Canales wants to do schematically. What was the biggest issue that the Panthers wide receiving core had last year? They couldn't separate. They couldn't get open. They weren't making it easy for Bryce Young to throw the football. Outside of Adam Thielen, they had nobody who was able to consistently get open. Diontae Johnson is going to solve that issue. Now, he may have a couple of big drops and big moments, but you'll live with that because he easily could be a dude who goes for 1,100, maybe 1,200 yards. And the reason why Pittsburgh traded him had nothing to do with him not being good. This dude is probably one of the most underrated wide receivers in the National Football League. The reason why he got traded is because, he was a little disgruntled. There were a few games this year where Mike Tomlin had to talk to him on the sideline, give him one of those talks like, hey, man, what's going on? Calm down, get your head back in the game. And listen, I really feel like the character issues with Diontae Johnson were really overblown. I really blame this trade taking place because of Kenny Pickett. If Kenny Pickett wasn't so damn sorry, Diontae Johnson never would be as upset as what he was during this season, bro. Like, I couldn't blame Diontae Johnson and George Pickens being upset. They're receivers. They want to make plays. They want to catch the football. And when you got garbage Kenny Pickett throwing you the football, you're not going to have a chance to make plays. So can you blame Diontae Johnson for being frustrated with what he was getting out of the quarterback position? Absolutely not. Like, I'm so upset that this trade took place, man. Y'all can call Diontae Johnson a quitter all you want to, but if we had better quarterback play, Diontae Johnson wouldn't have been as frustrated as what he was this past season. I ain't see Diontae Johnson looking disgruntled when Mason Rudolph was in that quarterback. Am I right or am I wrong? But Diontae Johnson and George Pickens were looking pretty happy when Mason Rudolph was throwing passes. But this is what happens when you have garbage quarterback play. When you have garbage quarterback play, receivers want to make plays, but they can't make plays because the QB can't get them the freaking football. This is what happens. They get upset, and eventually Diontae Johnson, I guess he got to a point where he was like, you know what? If y'all want to trade me, trade me. And the Steelers, they did the right thing, what Mike Tomlin always says. We don't want hostages. We want volunteers or something like that. But for Bryce Young, you just got blessed, dog. Diontae Johnson, if you're looking for a sleeper wide receiver in fantasy football, everybody needs to be drafting Diontae Johnson. He should easily go for over 1,000 yards. He possibly could give you a 1,100, 1,200 yard season. Dave Canales' offense is quarterback friendly. He wants to get the ball out fast. Is a rhythmatic offense. And for a dude like Diontae Johnson, that is a great separator, a really good route runner, he's going to thrive in this offense. And he's probably going to get more targets in his first season with Carolina than what he ever did with the Pittsburgh Steelers, bro. The quarterback play was so damn bad that he didn't even score no damn touchdown in 2022. So, I mean, Bryce Young, being a former #1 overall pick, this is what he needs to succeed. You see, everybody is already trying to write off Bryce Young, calling him a bust. It's unfair to call Bryce Young a bust, considering the situation that he was in last year. CJ Stroud wouldn't have looked any better than what Bryce Young did behind an awful offensive line and no wide receivers that could separate. Diontae Johnson is going to quickly become Bryce Young's best friend and his most reliable option. He'll have a few drops here or there, but outside of the drops, which he doesn't drop it that often, but he is known to drop big passes in crucial moments at times. But outside of that, man, Diontae Johnson is everything that you want in a receiver. Everything. He can get open. He doesn't really get caught up in man press coverage too often. I love this trade for the Carolina Panthers. Hate it for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, because you aren't really getting anything. Donte Jackson, if you think that you can turn him into a Pro Bowl caliber corner, then do your thing, Mike Tomlin. But I don't really see a good cornerback in Donte Jackson. I see an average corner. And there's nothing wrong with having average cornerback play because, I mean, that's all the Steelers were getting last year outside of Joey Porter Jr. All the other cornerbacks that the Steelers had playing on the field in 2023 were average or worse. So Donte Jackson, I think that he fits in perfectly with what the Steelers have already had at cornerback. This isn't an upgrade. He isn't no different from the guys we had starting at cornerback. Does it piss you off how much you pay for your monthly phone bill? Why are you getting frustrated when our partner Mint Mobile has plans as low as $15 a month that give you unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network? Stop getting frustrated with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and go to trymintmobile.com/JTSports in description and pinned comment down below to get access to premium wireless for only $15 a month. That's only $15 a month. Switching to Mint is easy. It only takes 15 minutes to do. If you're pissed off with how much you pay for your monthly phone bill, switch to Mint Mobile today and go to trymintmobile.com/JTSports in description and pin comment down below to get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Stop getting upset with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and switch to Mint Mobile today. Last year, I really wanted us to draft a cornerback at 20 in this year's draft. I wanted Cooper DeJean out of Iowa or Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. Those two guys will be perfect fits in this offense. With Donte Jackson, average corner, maybe he gives you above average cornerback play at best. But I really don't like this trade for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we got to stop making it seem like every wide receiver that leaves Pittsburgh just disappears. Like, yeah, we lost Chase Claypool. He did nothing. But Antonio Brown, he left Pittsburgh and he won the Super Bowl. You know, Emmanuel Sanders left Pittsburgh and he had a lot of success in Denver and with San Francisco. So, yeah, the Steelers may be one of the best teams in the NFL at drafting wide receivers. But this isn't just going to be a loss that the Steelers can just scoff over. It's really difficult to find receivers that create the amount of separation that Diontae Johnson has. This dude is a gifted route runner. You don't find route runners as talented as Diontae every day. They don't grow on trees. And for Bryce Young now, you're going to have a true #1 option. I view Diontae Johnson and George Pickens both as #1 wideouts. Now for Pittsburgh, you got another hole that you have to fill. What are you going to do to replace Diontae Johnson? And for all the people that keep saying, oh, he's not going to be that hard to replace. He dropped so many passes. Bruh, the dude only had like 3, 4, maybe 5 drops last year, man. He didn't even have that much of an opportunity to drop a lot of passes because nobody could get him the damn football. Well, Kenny Pickett couldn't get him the damn football. So, I mean, Diontae Johnson, regardless of what Steelers fans say about him, Carolina Panthers fans, you're getting a really good wide receiver. You just got to ignore the Steelers fans, man. Like, Steelers fans will tell you this dude will drop a few passes, but he's a damn good wide receiver. And I really don't understand why this fan base turns on him. Like, the dude didn't quit. We be hyping up George Pickens, but George Pickens didn't even want to block for somebody. Diontae Johnson, all he wanted was a chance to make plays. And Kenny Pickett didn't allow him to do that. So this is a blessing for Diontae Johnson. You're going to a team that now is going to have a quarterback that should give you the football. I mean, I would have loved to see what Diontae Johnson could have cooked up this year with Russell Wilson, but this is a business. I understand, but it definitely hurts with this being my favorite player getting traded away to Carolina. And it's a double-edged sword because, I mean, technically, if we want to be honest, I kind of am like a Carolina Panthers fan on the low. I'm not like a primary Carolina Panthers fan. It's not my main team, but, you know, a lot of you Panthers fans always watch the content. You always support, and you guys are like my biggest audience on YouTube. So, of course, I'm always going to have a little bit of love for not only the Carolina Panthers fan base, but the organization, the team, too. And for you to get Diontae Johnson, only having to give up Donte Jackson in a 6th-round selection, man, you won this trade. I won't call it a fleecing. It really depends on how well Donte Jackson plays this year. But I didn't see any Carolina Panthers fans having anything, you know, good to say about Donte Jackson getting traded. Like, it seems like a lot of Panthers fans were happy that they were getting rid of the dude because the dude wasn't really that good. So that tells you everything that you need to know. If the fan base isn't upset that a certain player is getting traded, that shows you that that player really might not be that good. But I'm going to give Donte Jackson the benefit of a doubt. But Carolina won this trade. The Steelers are getting a cornerback that at best is average, a late round selection, and the Carolina Panthers get a wide receiver run to help out their young quarterback. Great trade by the Carolina Panthers. I hate this trade for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know that the Steelers are probably going to find another good wide receiver. That's just what they do. They just have a knack for finding good wideouts, bro. But Diontae Johnson was one of my favorite players, man. I got a Diontae Johnson jersey sitting back home in the crib. I don't know what I'm about to do with it now, man. I can't wear it no more. What I'm going to do? I can't sell it. Who's going to buy a old Diontae Johnson jersey now that he's not playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers? This hurts, man. And I got people blowing up my phone saying, I know you heard about Diontae Johnson getting traded. Like, yeah, I heard about him getting traded. I'm talking about it right now, and I'm really upset. You can say everything you want to about him dropping passes, him quitting on the team. But really, he was frustrated because the quarterback situation sucked. Nobody wants to talk about that. I didn't see Diontae Johnson having any attitude problems when Mason Rudolph was at quarterback. So tell me why was that? Tell me why was that? Like, Diontae Johnson was a good player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He wasn't Antonio Brown, but he definitely could have been a damn good, better wide receiver than what he showed the last couple of years due to him getting held back by poor quarterback play. Like, this is a really good get for the Carolina Panthers. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, only time will tell. It depends on what you do with this 6th-round selection that you get and if you can turn Donte Jackson into an above-average cornerback. Because right now, to me, he just looks average. But this is my thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers trading away wide receiver Diontae Johnson to the Carolina Panthers. Once again, the Panthers get Diontae Johnson and the 7th-round pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers are getting cornerback Donte Jackson and the 6th-round selection in this year's draft. Leave your comments on who you feel won this trade down below.